I often quote former New York City Mayor Ed Koch, a Democrat, who would say, if you agree with me on 9 out of 12 things, vote for me. If you agree with me on 12 out of 12 things, go have your head examined. We're not all going to agree on everything, and we shouldn't. That's why we actually have a constitutional republic. It's why we have a democracy. No, just because Donald Trump won doesn't mean that everything he wants to do is what's going to happen. Obviously, if you look at the House, there are 220 Republicans, 215 Democrats. I'm one of three members that won in a seat Kamala Harris won. And, you know, my objective is not to be an impediment or a thorn. My objective is to actually advocate for and fight for my constituents and my district, push back where I have to, but ultimately actually get shit done. I didn't come to Washington to just sit and pontificate. I actually want to get things done. So in order to do that, though, it's a very simple math. You need 218 votes in the House. There are no Pyrrhic victories in politics. It is 50 plus one. That's it. You either win your election and you can govern, or you pass legislation and it gets signed into law. That's it. That's what, at the end of the day, that's what governing is about. And the only way you get there is by building coalitions. And sometimes those coalitions will be a party line only vote. Sometimes those coalitions will be bipartisan. I have proven to be a very bipartisan person. I was rated the fourth most bipartisan person in the last Congress. I passed 11 bills, 6 were signed into law by Joe Biden. So to me, my objective is to focus on the issues. Now, what I did say that we did have a mandate on was a few things. Number one, obviously the economy is paramount. The issue of affordability, the policy perspectives that Republicans have talked about within that realm. Energy policy, increasing domestic production of energy is critical. Securing the border and deporting criminal aliens. If you look at those issues, that is by and large what the substance of the campaign was about, both for president and for most of the congressional and Senate seats. And so, yes, those are areas where I do believe we do have a mandate to govern and to deliver on it, and a responsibility to do so. When you start getting into some of the other things, yeah, it gets a little more challenging. And that's why, for instance, on some of the spending cuts, there's not going to be total alignment or agreement on certain things because, you know what, my district is very different than Chip Roy's district. And that's just a reality. And so, you know, we all have a responsibility to represent our districts and our own points of view, but you do have a responsibility to work together. And I think one of the things that is so emblematic of the problem today in government, in politics, everybody acts like a petulant child. If I don't get my way 100%, I'm going to stomp my feet. I'm going to scream. I'm going to go to the press. I'm going to tell them how awful everything is. And then I'm not going to vote with the team. Or you can actually act like an adult and negotiate for the best possible deal you can get, advocate for your perspective, and recognize that, you know what, you may get 80% of what you want, and that's a lot better than 0% of what you want. And
Sean,
so I
I'm
choose
sorry.
to focus on getting the 80% and getting shit done.